Welcome back to the Fairbreak Invitational Tournament. It's match number 5 and we're seeing the Tornadoes going in battle with the Warriors. And I'm joined in studio by Georgie Heath. I'd like to welcome each and every single one of you joining us at the moment. Georgie, I know that the Warriors are wounded and they probably want to go into this wanting to secure their first win.
Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't perform poorly in the first game, but they were on the end of a Chamari Atupatu masterclass with her unbeaten century on day 1. So yeah, slightly wounded Warriors, but I wouldn't say there's too many chinks in their armoury. But yeah, they'll be looking to come back fighting and get that first win on the board today against the Tornadoes, who obviously won their opening match, thanks to they were two very different games, weren't they, that they've both played? So it will be interesting to see how this one plays out.
And how do the Tornadoes make sure that they continue to get another win under their belt?
I think it's about bringing that confidence from the first game into this one. Obviously, they had Sophie Devine and Stir Callis opening up. They lost Devine cheaply, but Callis, she sort of anchored the innings there and came out player of the match. So she'll be looking to build on that one. And they've obviously got the bowlers. They've got the likes of Diana Baig bowling there, and she'll be really key for them in this. And you've got to get those. The Warriors have got those openers, Redmayne and Hayley Matthews, both looked really strong in their opening game. So get one of them out early and cheaply, and they could be on top.
And they could be on top. But let's go straight to the coin toss with Mel, and let's see who was that toss and what they elect to do first.
Well, the Warriors looking for their first win of the tournament. The Tornadoes hoping to go back-to-back, and I have both the captains down here ready for the coin toss, and that is going to be performed by Sean Martin, the daddy of the competition, founder of Fairbreak, and we have match referee Chandra Fitz down here as well. Do your best, Sean.
Heads. Heads is the call.
Oh, it's gone a long way too. Good toss there. It is heads.
Heads. I'm going to bowl first.
You're going to have a bowl first. The Warriors up first. Why have you decided to do that? I know it's been the popular call.
Well, I think it's important to know what we're chasing. I think it helps us better to just get our batting going. So I guess, yeah, yes. Just knowing what to go and score out there is better.
Have you made many changes to the
We have 2 changes. We have Mariana and Arak missing out today, and we have Shamila and Jen coming in for.
Okay, and what do you make of it? We've had a mixed bag with high-scoring, low-scoring games. A pretty decent scoring game in the last match. What are you expecting tonight?
Correct. If we can restrict them for anything lesser than 140 would be good.
Anything less than 140, well, good luck with that. Yep. We'll see how you go
Thank you
with
so
the
much.
chase.
Thank you.
And Stafanie Taylor, captain of the Tornadoes, joins me, looking for your second win. Are you happy to be batting first?
Well, it's a bit, I'm not sure, because we weren't sure what we wanted to do. So Sophie said to me, just lose the toss. So it's probably a good thing.
Well, they do say a good toss to lose. How about your side? Have you made many changes?
Yeah, so we have 2 changes. Mariam and Marianne is in, and Aliyah and Tash is out for today's game.
Okay, and what are you expecting? Because we saw a really good chase in the last game, but we've seen other times where a small total has been quite defendable.
Well, I think it's you just have to go out there and bowl to your plans, your feel. You're gonna have moments where batters on top, but it's how you bounce back. And yeah, they got some firepower, so hopefully we could come out on top of that.
Well, we shall see. Good luck with the game tonight. I hope you enjoy it. Slightly cooler out here, so
okay,
yeah, she
thanks.
disagrees. She thinks it's hot. I think it's actually quite nice, but there you go. The Warriors have won the toss and they've elected to field.
And let's have a quick look at how that Tornadoes is looking like. And we've got Georgie that's going to take us through that.
Yeah, so we've got that opening partnership of Sophie Devine and Stir Callis, as we did in the last game. And then Captain Stafanie Taylor coming in at number 3. She came in early in the first game they played because Devine was out cheaply. And then we've got the likes of Sune Luz, Musonda, Katie Martin in there. Yes, so it's quite a strong-looking batting lineup for the Tornadoes there. Diana Baig, she's down the end, and she can bat. She was out. She was dismissed for a duck in their first game, but she'll be hoping to improve on that one.
All right, awesome. Now let's move over to the next team, and that list will be coming up shortly, and that is the Warriors, of course. And we've got Hayley Matthews, Georgie Redmond, who was quite dominant in the first game, and we see Mingyan du Preez. Her experience will definitely come through, and we also see the inclusion of Shamila from Botswana. Look forward to how she will be playing in this opening game for her. And of course, we're also seeing the lady from Namibia, which is Khan, and good to see her being included in this starting 11. These two teams look like they've got some good combinations coming up, and so you must be surprised to see some of the players giving in an opportunity to come in.
Yeah, well, that's what we see in this tournament. Obviously, you have to make those two changes. It keeps the rotation, but also it's the protection of the players. You know, they're playing some back-to-back games, like we saw the Barmy Army play earlier, and they'd only just played last night. Barely gone to bed in that time. So, yeah, it's about that rotation, bringing in those players. You can't just rely on the same ones over and over again. So it is good we see those Namibian players in there.
Awesome stuff. Now we want to head over to a clip by Isha Oza, the player that is part of the Warriors.
Hello, I'm Isha Oza and I'm here from the UAE women's cricket team. I'm really looking forward to getting to know a lot of international stars, getting to play, getting to share a field with all of them, and yeah, just enjoying the experience, having a lot of fun and making the most out of this. So as an associate member nation player, I think we haven't played many games against the full member nation players like some of the greats of the game, and I think the Fairbreak Invitational 2022 is one of the best platforms to have us play with each other and against each other. We're going to get a lot of experience playing with the world's best, and I'm sure we're definitely going to learn a lot out of it. And yeah, over the years, I think if this keeps on happening, there's going to be a time where the associate member nation players and the full member nation players are going to be at the same level. We're going to be at par, and that's when women's international cricket will go to another level for sure. I'm hoping to achieve a lot of recognition for UAE players. I think as UAE players, things are growing in UAE for cricketers, and I think through this tournament, there are a lot of girls who are going to take up the sport back home in UAE itself. I just want to go out there, enjoy, give my best, and show the world what we can do as players too.
Well, that was great to hear from Isha Oza. Great for her to be given an opportunity, speaking about the associate players coming in.
Yeah, she performed really well in the first game as well. We saw her in that press conference following that. You know, she was saying in the VR there that they are getting that experience. But it's not just, giving the associate players the experience. They're really stepping up, and they're showing why women's cricket is growing so much around the world and how she can hold her own, and they all can, amongst the big names of the game who've been playing at the top level for so long. And it's really great to see that, you know, that involvement of these associate nations.
That's great. We always love the involvement of the associate nations, and that's what Fairbreak is all about. Now we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to go straight into some cricket action. Make sure that you sit back, relax, and enjoy, because it's definitely going to be a good one.
It's match 5 of the Fairbreak Invitational 2022 between the Tornadoes and the Warriors here at Dubai International Cricket Stadium. The Tornadoes victorious yesterday against the Sapphires, defending 119, and the Warriors, who fell short on the first night when they couldn't defend 177 against the Falcons. Looking at the points table here, the Falcons won earlier this evening comfortably by 8 wickets, and therefore they're at the top of the table with 8 points, collecting all the points so far. 3 for a win and 1 for the team that's ahead after the 10th over. As for the Warriors, they were soundly defeated and they couldn't defend 177 on opening night. Down in 4th position at the moment. The news from the toss is that the Warriors have won the toss and elected to field, popping in the Tornadoes. Opening the batting for the Tornadoes will be Sophie Devine, the New Zealand skipper, and Stare Callis, who was player of the match in their win yesterday. As for Devine, a player of vast experience, a champion of the New Zealand team over the last 15 years. Callis, in that low-scoring game, made 32 from 29 balls, and that proved decisive in enabling them to hold their nerve and win and get on the board at the first time of asking. Adam Collins with you on commentary, and with me I have Isabel Duncan. Izzy, we've got Catherine Bryce, the Scot, opening the bowling for the Warriors, who need to win here, even though they've only lost 1 game. The nature of the competition is such that losing 2 in a row, it's a long way back to the final 4.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting game as well. It's the 5th match on this strip. It'll be the 5th and last match on this pitch. It'll be interesting to see how it plays. It's got a bit of wear and tear. We're imagining it could possibly be a low-scoring game. A little bit slower, lower bounce. How it pans out. Now, Sophie Devine's grandmother sadly passed away last week, and she'll be wearing a black armband, and so will her fellow New Zealander, Katie Martin.
The big in-swinging Yorker to start. Close, not out.
Cracking start there by Catherine Bryce of Scotland, getting a lot of late in-swing. That's what she's known for. She's pumped up with that new ball, that new sash ball.
Saved by the inside edge. Yeah, good hoop again.
Great dot, see girls. Great dot, Silly here. Really good, Brycey.
The definition of finding your line and length straight up. First ball right where she needs to be, Bryce.
Down.
Fraction wider through the gap. Devine off the mark with a boundary. Tornadoes away.
Not hanging around Devine here. Just gets to the pitch of the ball, slashes it away. Fast outfield hit. So Devine a little bit too wide there from Bryce. Doesn't get that late swing.
Here you go, Brycey.
Yeah, Bryce took some tap in the opening game. She ran into Chamari Adipatu, their best, conceding 43 runs across 3.4 overs.
Oh, down. Nice, Brycey. Great comeback.
She keeps landing it there on the crease line with big in-swinging Yorkers. She'll be fine tonight. You talked to the pitch before. Izzy, you were out there yesterday and again this afternoon. I mean, it's a used surface. There'll be the dew to consider as well. We're not expecting it to be easy conditions to bat in. Across the line, Devine, through the gap. Out to the sweeper. Rotating the strike easily there.
Yeah, it's there's a lot to contend with out there, particularly at this time of night. You're under the lights, you've got the dew, and it's a worn-out pitch, the 5th game. Got a lot of matches to play on this square with 9 strips out there. And it'll be interesting to see how it plays. At the moment, with this new ball, we're getting a lot of in-swing here from Catherine Bryce of Scotland. A lot of cricket in England.
Good, Brycey. Well done. Great finish.
6 runs from the first over. Good start for the Tornadoes. So a couple of changes for both teams this evening. For the Tornadoes, Marianne Mazonda, the Zimbabwean captain, getting her first opportunity. Likewise, Miriam Bibi. And for the Warriors, Jennifer Alumbro from the Philippines and Shamila Mazwayo getting their first games of the comp. The Warriors winning the toss and electing to field, as every team has done so far.
Just looking a little bit short on seamers out there, the Warriors, going down the list. We've seen Catherine Bryce, Jennifer Lumbro, Badani coming in.
Ooh, sharp. Redmayne whipping the bails off. I wonder if they go upstairs here. Badani, that generous movement. Not signalled wide. If you're tuning into Fairbreak Invitational for the first time, it's the MCC interpretation of leg side wides rather than the ICC professional playing conditions. So a little bit more latitude than you'd ordinarily see in a T20 competition. Catches up with it this time. The call's 2, and they should get through comfortably, and do. Callis from the Netherlands, she's been a real presence in English cricket as well over the last couple of years, and a dominant force.
Yeah,
she's 22 years of age.
Plays in the 100 and the Rachel Ho Flint Trophy as well.
Struck fine there by Callis and gets her first boundary of the evening. The Tornadoes into double figures. Just helped on its way there. Can't afford to bowl on leg stump with fine leg inside the circle.
Yeah, well, they've got the left arm, right arm combination here, and this is the left arm coming in. Rabadani just straying down the leg side. Alice just leaning into that. She's been in the runs, as we mentioned before. She was player of the match in that previous game, and they beat the Sapphires by 17 runs. 32 runs, Callis.
Yet to find her line, Rabadani. Had 30 runs taken from 3 overs in their first game. Lost to the Falcons.
Here we go, girls! First wicket for you here, Edie!
The 2 fielders outside the circle for Devine, positioned at deep mid-wicket and deep backward square. So fine leg stays inside the circle. Bore on the 1 on the offside.
Yeah, keeper!
Good positive running.
Well, we think that Prabodani will certainly enjoy bowling to the right-hander, just getting it to come across the body.
Down. Yeah, good, Edie. Great adjustment.
8 runs from the over, 2 gone. The Tornadoes 14 without loss. So the players missing out tonight for the Tornadoes who were there in the previous game: Aliyah Riaz from Pakistan and Tash Miles from Hong Kong. And for the Warriors, Celeste Rack, Mariana Martinez from Ireland and Argentina respectively, making way. All players in this comp will play at least 2 games, so squads of 15. So there'll be heavy rotation in each fixture they play.
Now, Brycey, your wicket, Brycey, your wicket here.
A boundary apiece for Devine and Callis in the first 2 overs. Bryce to continue. There's that swing again, catches the call out towards deep square, and it clears the fielder on the rope. Should have done better. Devine gets a chance. Helped on its way. It just miscued, misunderstood where she needed to be in relation to the rope. Oswayo into the team tonight.
Nice, Brycey.
Shamila Oswayo from Botswana into the team. Unfortunately, her first touch powering a ball over the rope.
Yeah, poor old Catherine Bryce denied there with her hooping in swingers. Great control. Lovely seam position from Bryce.
Yeah, really well played. Two fielders out there for that very shot. Devine started well, off to a flyer. 16 from 9.
Well, you want to go hard, don't you, in the power plays? Always looking to dominate as batsmen in T20. It's always that battle between batter and bowler.
Oh, again, Sophie Devine muscles it over square leg. Off balance, but still finds the middle of the bat and nearly pops it into the stands. Her second 6 in the over. Strike rate already up to 220. And when Sophie Devine's in this kind of form, you can't afford any let-offs, and she's already been dropped once in this eventful over.
Down.
Another boundary. Down was the call at mid-on, but not down in time. Isha Oza had the job to do there. Again, all muscle through the forearms. It would have taken the perfectly executed dive, and it wasn't.
Right up there in the slot, wasn't it, for Devine?
Yeah, 3 4s and 2 6s, Devine. Big over this. Ends it with a dot ball. After 3 overs, Tornadoes off to a flyer, 34 for none. Seen here the opportunity on the rope. Masuayo completely misjudging it. Insult to injury. Devine here off balance, launching it over the rope at mid-wicket and down the ground, benefiting from a piece of poor fielding. Devine strike rate already up to 217. Huge third over. Warriors already under pressure after winning the toss and bowling.
Yeah, 20 off that last over. Expensive there from Catherine Bryce. Going hard at it, Devine. Taking most of the strike.
Yeah, better. Abudani's best weapon is the one that comes back towards the right-hander from left arm over the wicket. That one right there. Quick single. Through. Priya diving across from mid-wicket. To have collected and thrown in one motion to have brought herself into the game. Not quite.
Thinks very hard. She's got to think hard here and perhaps rotate her bowlers a bit more. These two are accelerating.
Yeah, the opposite of what we saw in the first game, with the Barmy Army held to just 49 in the first 10. They exploded in the second half, making 103. But even that wasn't enough. Danny Wyatt making 76 not out, 49 balls, and Falcons get their second victory. Better over this. 3 from it. 5 gone so far.
There's always the hope with bowlers that if you've got the left arm and you've got the right arm combination, that you can unsettle the batsman. They're not going to get used to you, but these two are looking comfortable, Devine and Callis. I think something's got to change with the bowling.
Miscued to mid-wicket. End of the over. Just 3 runs coming from it. The Tornadoes have 2 left in their power play. They're 37 for none. The Warriors doing as every team have done in the comp so far, electing to bowl. Has favoured the chasing teams for the most part. 3 or 4 games won batting second. Devine their strike rate 169. when she's a handful. But there will be a change of bowling here. Hayley Matthews, the West Indian vice-captain. They're probing off spin inside the power play. Took 1 for 23 in the first game across her 4 overs. She was fighting all the way to the end, throwing herself around in the field, trying to give them some chance of pushing back against Chamari Adapadu, but wasn't to be. She led the West Indies for runs and wickets at the recently completed One-Day World Cup. She wants to be the most destructive all-rounder in the world. That's her stated ambition. Had a bit of a lull after becoming a world champion at age 18 in 2016, but back to her best in 2022.
Here she is with her tweakers, just changing it up here. The Warriors, they need to do something different, get some spin on.
There won't be much shame thereafter, I don't think. I think we've reached a point where it'll be majority spin between here and the end of the innings. They've got a number of options. Warriors. Ooh, sneaking past everything. How's that's the shout? Given not out and spills down to the rope. Looking for the signal. Buys or leg buys? Buys. So Redmayne was looking to appeal. Went past everything. Pushing it back here, spun sharply. Redmayne far more interested in going up than getting her left mitt in the way. You can understand why, given where she was positioned, Callis.
Well, she is getting some turn here, actually, isn't she? And it is gripping and turning on this worn pitch.
Long on, a deep mid wicket outside the circle. Waited well enough to consider a second. Think better of it. Good bit of fielding. Redmayne, the wicket keeper, the only uncapped player for the Warriors in terms of national selection. Not far away though for Australia. Blistering BBL this year, and an unbeaten 80 for the Warriors, opening the batting. The first fixture of the competition here in Dubai. Across the line again, Devine, over the top of mid-wicket. That's her third 6 inside this power play. When Sophie Devine's in this kind of mood, it can get ugly for the fielding team. Picking the line early, trusting her swing. Bang.
Very still in her crease as well. A still head and perfect control.
End of the 5th over. We'll have a change in commentary. The Tornadoes up to 48 without loss.
Sophie Devine, Kiwi powerhouse, has got the Tornadoes away to a terrific start. Some magic striking, and striking over the rope and occasionally into the stands. Camilla Connell, the West Indies fast bowler, will now get her chance. Well, got a bit of extra pace smell.
Yeah, and just saw the howl of frustration from Stair Colours then. But Jamelia Connell liked it a lot. It's been so hard to know what to make. We've had these high-scoring games, low-scoring games. Really interesting mixed bag we've had on this pitch.
Once again, extra pace does the trick.
They've got enough pace when the pitch has been slowing up.
I've got to say, I don't think the pitch has actually slowed too much from day one, to be honest. There's always been bounce there. I've seen a slowing of the pitch, a little slower than day one. Day one was an absolute belter. Fraction slower, but plenty of bounce, and that's what good bowlers and good batters want. 3 in a row, and the umpire doesn't like that one. Just outside the guideline, maybe.
It's just made it hard to really work out what a good score is. We've seen small totals defended. We've seen much bigger totals chased down. I think the players themselves, when I've spoken to them, they don't really know what a good score on this pitch is yet.
Well, we might be able to follow that trend line, but the Shamilia-Connell trend line is bowled outside off stump, which is trying to bowl to a field.
Well, it's worked there for the last few balls, 3 dot balls.
A little bit closer, and let's get some wood on this one.
But it was well bowled, nice and full. She was just happy to get bat on ball at that point. That does bring Sophie Devine on strike, and she looks like she is in a real mood tonight.
2 outside the circle, is just still inside the power play. A deep cover and a deep third. Yeah, well, that was predictable. She was going to go hard.
She was, but Connell's been up to the task. Had a wide earlier. Yet again. Big heave-ho and a miss.
Wow, there's a lot of strike 3 going on at the moment. This is cricket or baseball. 50 for no wicket. Power play finished. Terrific start from the West Indies opening bowler. It's 2 off that, and one of those was a wide. A bit of extra pace certainly makes a difference. Could even keep Sophie Devine down to a couple of dots at the end of the over.
She had been expensive in the first game. Number 39 she went for off her first 4 overs, as we see Oza top of her mark now.
Oza of the UAE. She's, you'd like to say playing at your home ground, but they haven't actually played here, certainly in your home country. Star of the future, hits the ball very well, bowled exceptionally game 1. Slick hands from Redmayne.
Yeah, she liked the look of that as well. She gave it a real stare. See Redmayne? She is so good behind the stumps. Plenty of flight.
And bounce. People keep saying it's hard, but there's bounce there. They hustle for 1. That's all they get. It's Hayley Matthews. You don't take her arm on. But Isha Oza is tall to start off with, and she really has a high release point. And so she will get the most bounce off this pitch. And that Georgia Redmayne, behind the stumps, can inspect balls being the outside edge most of the time. A little bit of turn. So things have become a little more difficult with Isha Oza on.
Yeah, just a little bit of turn in that time. I think it was almost bottom edged Keen not to hit it back onto a stumps.
Yeah, this Late's cut. Oh, that's gorgeous shot. That is just so delightful. She used the bounce that time.
She did, and she waited just a little bit too much width as well. She was nice and patient. We saw her play some beautiful shots all along the offside. Nice and late. Waited for it. Perfectly placed. Too fine for the fielder. But she played some lovely cover drives and cut shots, really strong on the offside. Stair Callis.
A bold, delightful delivery to finish the over. 56. The wicket. Like a little one-finger arm ball. The classic arm ball of Yorker. Went away and Redmayne get up on the half volley.
She is very tall and quite really high release point. Lovely action to watch.
So just a couple of overs. Warriors to put a break on for both Devine and Callis. Hold back for a second. Wow, that's strike 6.
Gee, we've seen an awful lot of that, haven't we, from Connell? As I mentioned, she was a bit expensive in the first match. The Warriors lost, but she's come back with a vengeance in this match. She's proving to be really difficult to get bat on ball to. But Devine might have ideas here.
That's the straight pull.
Well, Stair Callis getting back very quickly. We did see a wicket in the earlier match. Jamari Atapatu backing up as Danny Wyatt was on strike. We saw a Shimway, Henrietta Shimway, parry the ball onto the stumps.
Another short ball, they'll steal a single. So Connell's mixing it up. She's been full outside off stump. She's got some plays and misses, but she understands players of Devine's quality will then start changing their game as well. As we just look at the first couple of overs, some swing on offer, but also some terrific batting.
And we saw that drop there too. How costly might that be?
This time Callis gets it the thinnest of edges. If you swing enough, you occasionally hit them.
Well, a streaky 4 is worth no less than one that comes out in the middle of the bat. No slipping, of course. I think it might have been right in between the keeper and slip if slip had been there.
Yeah, it's a great scoring zone in any wide football form of the game, isn't it? That's virtually never see a regulation for at any stage in a T20 or a 50 over game, and that's where that would have gone.
There's a slip in now.
Yeah, and that's a good move, because how many times has she beaten the bat outside the off stump?
Well, it might just give Callis something to think about and give Connell a little bit of a sniff.
Almost a bottom edge, isn't it?
Well, it was the captain, Sins Traharsha, who went into slip, but she's now back out. She's just moved to mid-wicket.
And more bounce, good pace. Just 5 off the over. The Tornadoes haven't lost a wicket. They've got 61 off 8 overs.
There's been a really good little battle here, this section. Devine was scoring freely early on. But Jamelia Connell in particular has done a really good job. You can see there The scoring was going one way on the way up, and now it's just proving to be a little bit more difficult.
Well, the tall building there at number 3 on the street, that was the Catherine Bryce for Sophie Devine over. Like a good address to have. Oza again, and Devine, she's probably like to get under that. She's not trying to hit the ball on the ground, she's trying to hit it over the boundaries and off and into the seats. But this is a terrific contest. In the air and just short.
Rabadani fielding there. She did drop a catch there in their first game. Was able to just really stop the ball from going for any runs, but you've just really sensed the frustration, I think, here from this pair. They've been swinging, they've been missing, occasionally connecting.
Throw's good, but the running's better.
And maybe that's the key too. They've been going for the big swings and misses where maybe there's just an opportunity to just drop and run a little bit, keep turning the strike over and keep the scoreboard ticking. They're still going at a pretty healthy rate.
Vine changes up her stance. Knows his reaction is not good enough. Terrific piece of hitting.
Well, I think she only needed one hand in the end, which is unbelievable. Well, it took a hand off it. Held the pose. It's not a classic pose, you'd have to say, that one. It's not your classic cricket pose.
No, but it's your classic baseball pose.
It is.
Because that's how they teach the hitters in baseball. They take the right-handed hitters, take the left hand off, and it allows you to hit the ball even further. That's one's up amongst the multicoloured seats.
She's just so destructive once she gets going, Sophie Devine. Just has that look about her. You can see that black armband she's wearing tonight.
Clubbed, fielded. Gee, how quick did that get down to long off?
Pretty sprightly indeed. There's another look at the wide arm pose. The end of that 6. That went a gazillion miles.
Ellis tries to cut, can't contact. 70 for no wicket off 9.
Contrasting performances by the bowlers so far. You can see the economy of Connell. She has been really, really tight. Bryce went expensively, but it's Connell. Again, good running. This has been better. We saw them going for the big hits, this pair of Callis and Devine. It wasn't working, particularly to Connell, who just kept beating the bat and beating the bat. And we've seen a couple of big hits, but perhaps more of a willingness to just run hard.
Got the slip in, Mel.
Oh, it is too. You're right.
Connell wants the slip. Great if this pays off. Get in 2 slips.
Well, yes, the captain putting herself back in the slips position. We did see 4 scored in that region a couple of overs back. Connell's consistently beating the outside edge.
Couple of strides, well, that's not really a fumble, it's a dive and parry, and we know Dupree just cleans up that. Is well fielded.
We've seen some big hitting tonight. Devine clearing the rope 4 occasions. Absolute monster.
Well, bangs one in and gets a dot.
And finishing off with the 4th 6, and it was the most spectacular of all. Up in the stands, go play fetch.
A few players might want to get hold of that bat as well. Look at you. Where's the slip? Where is the slip? Yes, Sophie, I'd have a wry smile as well. The nightmares of captains.
Oh, there's times when you're chasing the game and it gets ahead of you. So the captain was in at slip, leaves the area vacant.
Would have swallowed that. It's a funny game sometimes. Oh, and a bumper that gets stuck. Jamelia Connell. Terrific bowling, great contest. 10 overs gone. We're halfway there. The Tornadoes 76 for no wicket.
That was funny. That was
And welcome back. We've got a change in the commentary. I'm Mark Farmer and I'm here with Georgie Heath. Well, Tornadoes are motoring along.
Cooking up a storm, one could say. I'm here all day. Yeah, so Sophie Devine doing what Sophie Devine does best. 48 not out of 33. We saw those monster sixes she was hitting. True Sophie Devine style. She looks very comfortable out there, as always.
Georgie, we need to get you back on with Henry for those dad jokes. That was outstanding.
You didn't hear my Terry chocolate orange earlier. I might bring it out again. Yeah, you can see Warriors.
Yeah, you get a sense, Julie Price out there, team talk, using that 10 over break to talk them through and get the plans and go, hey, we've got 10 overs to go here, there's a big opportunity. We break this partnership, we can try and slow things down and wrestle back a bit of momentum.
Warriors captain Sindhu Sriharsha there. Got some thinking to do to break this partnership. 76 from 10 overs here. Divine having a bit of a whack and Callis playing a supporting role. She was the anchor for their innings in their first game. And it looks like Hayley Matthews is going to do her second over here. Went for 7 in her first.
Great start. We see the slow bowling, especially on this wicket, that has slowed up a little bit as it more cricket that's been played on it. This will be the last match on this wicket. And see, trying to bowl quite a straight line with all the boundary riders actually on the leg side with the exception of long off. Nice bit of turn as that's worked into the leg side. You notice that there's not too many twos on offer out there. 55-metre boundaries all the way round. So we've seen earlier games that those that have tried to take on the arm and go for a two, some of them have got themselves into a bit of trouble. Oh, that's going to go a long way if it connected.
Yeah, I think we were ducking for cover in the commentary box if that one had made contact. Sophie Devine just swinging there, but nicely picked up by Georgia Redmayne. Not an easy take behind the sticks there.
The cry of catch. And it's taken. Great grab on the boundary. It's a huge wicket. We always see it straight after drinks. There's a wicket that falls, and Sophie Devine, after a fantastic innings up until this point, falls short of her 50. That's the young player from Namibia. Outstanding catch on the boundary.
Yeah, Sophie Devine will be disappointed with that. She just didn't quite get all of it. And it was a nice take there by Yasmin Khan, just on the boundary. Did really well. Great pitch awareness there. She knew where the rope was, and she knew she was comfortable with that take above her head. Sophie Devine, she doesn't look too unhappy, but she'll disappointed not to have made that half century. She's gone for 48 from 35. Tornadoes 77 for 1.
Back. What a time for a wicket to fall straight after drinks. But it doesn't get any easier. Stafanie Taylor coming to the crease. Whoa! Look at that rip and turn. Wow. Is that going to play a factor in this match as we take our way through the next 10 overs and into second inning? Look at that go. Oh.
That's bamboozled all of us, and it's definitely bamboozled the Tornadoes captain, Stafanie Taylor there.
It takes the outside edge, it doesn't go as much, and it's racing away. And Alumbro from the Philippines lives in Hong Kong, not able to pull it in. And that takes us to the end of the 11th over, the score 82 for 1.
Yeah, it's just the edge there from Stair Callis, just raced away, but Hayley Matthews is finding it funny out there. Yeah, Stair Callis going along nicely here. She did well in the first game as well, so she's on 28 off 30 at the moment.
back in. All happening here. Big wicket to fall, but you lose Sophie Devine and then you bring in Stafanie Taylor. It doesn't get any easier for the Warriors. We see, after the last over from this end, we see the slip coming back in. It's a single. It's all West Indies here. West Indies versus West Indies at both ends in the batters.
You love to see that battle though going on here. So here it is. The wicket, she just didn't get hold of that one, and Yasmin Khan out on the boundary. She is actually a wicket keeper as well, so she trusts her hands out there even without her gloves. Sophie Devine not quite making that half century. That's well played there by Stafanie Taylor, and that
gets all the way through to the boundary. Right, smile, hands on hips.
Yeah, you see that one. That's another edge down there. You can see why they're thinking about bringing that slip in. There is finding the edge quite often, so you can see why Connell is after one of those. But yes, Stafanie Taylor, she kept it down, but it's raced away to the boundary for 4 there, and she moves on to 32 from 31.
Short and wide and straight to the fielder. Yeah, Cullison, great form at the moment, 32 off 32. The set batsman she'll be looking to build a partnership with here with Taylor as they progress towards the 15th over, ready to launch. That's pulled away, and that's going to be 4 more to the score. Easy stuff.
Yeah, you can't be bowling those to Callis in this form. She's seeing the ball well at the moment. She's just tonked that one away mid-wicket. And yeah, here we go. See this from Connell. It's just a tad short. And Callis is able to, she's equal to that. And yeah, so she was player of the match in Tornado's first game for her innings there. And so she's feeling comfortable. Even she's got that zinc under her eyes that she so often wears, regardless of playing under lights or in the sunshine.
Looks to go back of a length again. It's really interesting. I mean, we've seen in a number of games now that pace off the ball, whether it's the slow mediums or spin, has been really, really effective. And here the tactic seems to be going back of a length, boundary fielders, deep square leg, fine leg, third man and a deep cover point. Short again, and Cullis up to the task, just running it down to third man. That is the end of the 12th over. The Tornadoes racing along at 92 for 1. There we are, the Tornadoes racing along. Devine, fantastic start, 48 off 35. Cullis doing a great job, 37 off 35. She's in the run so far this tournament.
Yeah, so they've got a great batting lineup, these Tornadoes. You can see there in the centre of your screen, Zimbabwean captain Marianne Musonda brought into the team today. Yeah, so Marianne Musonda, yeah, she hit a century in Zimbabwe's first official ODI, and actually when she was younger, she learned to hit sixes and then had to unlearn it because she wanted to hit every ball for 6, she said.
I love it, great images. Clearly a few people that are camera shy. There we go. The celebration is there. There's a cheer from the crowd. Fantastic. Goes for the reverse sweep and it's nothing on it. Yeah, we've seen a number of celebrations, Georgie. I think that was one of the first things the teams were all doing when they first came together, a bit of team building. Here we go. Here it is live. We'll be seeing that over the tournament.
That's the push for celebration. It's gone so far on social media in the last few days. I'm sure we'll see more of it.
There's just been some phenomenal images of the celebrations and reactions from all the players.
Yeah, the Falcons were enjoying theirs earlier as well, weren't they? Oh, there's Sophie Devine. She's in on the action.
The tornado coming. This is the end of the 13th over, 94 for 1.
Yeah, we're wondering up in the comment box how we can try and get all 6 put together. Maybe we'll start some sort of Fairbreak dance. Get on TikTok with that. See the 2 out in the middle here, having a little discussion. It's still warm out there. Callis and Taylor.
Tornadoes 94 for 1. They were 76 after 10 overs, which is that halfway mark, which will qualify you for a bonus point if you're up at that point. Second innings. On track here, looking at the projected scores, if they carry on the way they are, they're at 144, but I suspect with 9 wickets in hand, could be quite an explosive end to this match. End of this innings, I should say. Bryce into the attack, and it's dropped into the offside just for the 1. Interesting field here, a very wide fine leg, deep square leg, but in front, long on, and someone out at deep cover. Oh, leg cutter going away from the bat nicely. Fantastic delivery, and it just shows that there's something on offer for the bowlers out there. Pace or spin. Oh, look at it. It's away from the bat. Callis goes across her crease, scoops it over. There's a chase, but that is going to go all the way. Great shot, great little change up and testing the field. There was a big gap there. Like we spoke about, the fine leg was very wide or in a backward square.
Yeah, you can see that here. She thought about it early, Callis. She's gone for it. When you're in form, you're in form, and she's seeing it well. She's got that sneaky little flick over there. Take on Catherine Bryce with that. Straight over Georgia Redmayne. It's rolled away for 4.
Here we go, Brycey.
Callis moves to 42 from 41.
Staying it in nicely, and that's going to bring up the 100 for the Tornadoes. Just the 1 down in the 14th over. Just have a look at those bowling figures there. Bryce 32 for 2.4 overs. Bit of a spread. That's a lovely shot, and you hear it from behind the stumps. The wicketkeeper Redmayne saying that's a lovely shot through extra cover, and it certainly was. And you just get the sense that Stafanie Taylor's been there just long enough that she's feeling comfortable and beginning to open her arms up. I mean, that's a glorious cricket stroke.
Yeah, that's textbook really, isn't it? Really nice looking there from Stafanie Taylor. The kind of thing you would show to young players coming through. This is exactly how you want to play it. This is how the big dogs are doing it. Callis appreciates it too, that head bump.
Lovely, Brycey. Great work.
Here's this punt. That's the end of the 14th over. Tornadoes 104 for 1. Just the 1 wicket to fall. Namibian Yasmin out on the boundary, great catch. See Cullis going for the reverse again, trying to split those two fielders, and there is quite a big gap there. Short third man is quite fine, and then you've got the point. Fine bit of wicket keeping again. We're just seeing a little bit of movement off that wicket, Georgie. There's a little bit out there for the bowlers.
Yeah, Callis was completely done by that one, really, wasn't she? Right smile from her there. If you can just see this one, it's just evaded her, and really quick hands behind the sticks there from Georgie Redmayne. You wouldn't expect anything else really from her. Consummate professional.
Having a look at that again, it looks like there's a deliberate move from Oza. Just the one. Yeah, the conditions have definitely changed over the course of the matches here, and certainly first match to second match under lights. There's a little bit of dew out there. Just sort of speeds things up, makes the wicket a little bit. Scurry through for 1 and make it through comfortably in the end.
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, this will be the 4th game on this wicket, the 4th and final, as we will move on tomorrow. So yeah, perhaps just weathered slightly now. It has been hot today. That will have made an impact as well. Good cricket all round there, well played by Callis.
And at the end of this over, there's going to be a commentary change, Georgie. We're going to miss out on the fireworks, I think, that's going to happen in the next 5 overs. That concludes the over, so that's all for us. We're going to hand over to Adam Collins and Isabel Duncan to take you through till the end of the match. Score 107 for 1.
Partnership of 30 off 26 balls. Just slow down slightly. Quick start. 50 in the power play. From there, they've been able to just put the brakes on enough that heading into the final 5, Tornadoes haven't completely gotten away from the Warriors here. Kabadani, who took the new ball, back to bowl the first of the death overs, the left arm Sri Lankan swing star. Deep mid-wicket, long on, long off, and deep point outside the circle. Good start to the spell, not far from the block hole. Adam Collins, Izzy Duncan taking you through. Izzy, when we were last together, the Tornadoes were flying with Sophie Devine, and that wicket did slow things down considerably.
Absolutely, it's just dragged down that run rate now, hasn't it? And Warriors feel like they're back in control somewhat.
Yeah, down it. When I say down it, 7.11 runs per over now. They're going comfortably at 10s for a time there. That massive over, 20 taken from the third of the innings. Devine was in full flight, clearing rope on a couple of occasions. Alice up and over, but straight to deep point. So her strike rate just under 100, but doing a fine job nevertheless.
Yeah, she's looking busy there at the crease, Callis, moving her feet, as batsmen often do in 2020, just trying to put the bowler off. Bowler's trying to follow the feet of the batsman.
Only 5 bowlers used so far. Yeah, good again. Just using the angle. Left arm over. Full. Inside the tram tracks. Taylor unable to catch up with it. Just dipped a little bit as well. Hitting the crease line. What you want to do bowling that Yorker. Taylor gets a chance to swing the arms there, but again picking up the sweeper.
Tight bowling here from Prabhadani with her left arm. Give 5 now. 4 off this over. Just trying to tighten the screws a little bit from the Tornadoes after that flying start.
Edge. Callis will retain the strike. She's on 48, the Tornadoes, with 4 overs to go, 112 for 1. Just 5 singles coming from that Prabhadani over. Good one there again for the Warriors. We know that won't be easy to chase.
There are certainly game plans here, and you do feel that perhaps Bryce has been targeted.
So can the Tornadoes go back up through the gears? They've got 4 overs to finish this innings on a high. Back to Hayley Matthews. She bowled superbly in her first spell, 1 for 12 from 2. Well, that's a nice steer from Callis. Coming back for 2. It'll be our half century. Coming up in 51 balls, 7 boundaries along the way for the Dutch opener. Just 22 years of age, and after a player of the match performance yesterday, a half century today, enhancing her reputation. Good cricketer, organised, rapid between the wickets, and you sense she's got a big future ahead of her. Finds the gap here. Good shot. Rocked back. Placed it between the 2 fielders on the circle. No deep point. This is the over they need. 6 from the first 2 balls. They're ahead in the count, so to speak. Now to punch the bruise.
Lovely, just frees up the arms there. Liberating shot from Callis. And that races away.
She's been excellent for the Netherlands as well. She got off to a flyer in that World Cup qualifier in Harare last year. Started the competition with 68 against Sri Lanka and 49 against Ireland before the whole thing got called off due to Omicron. That would have been early this year, so they missed the chance to qualify for that competition.
Yeah, very unlucky in that. She has hit a century in international cricket and T20 internationals.
2's the call. Going to take on Bryce though. Yeah, a couple of Dutch players in this competition. Getting the chance to mix it with the best. And they've been a big part of women's cricket over the journey as well. A lot of England teams have toured Holland. That's better. big swing. Didn't quite make the contact though. Yasmin Khan with the diving effort, stopping a couple. They come back for 2. Just off the bat, I thought she slapped that all the way, but didn't quite get perfect contact. Shanked it.
Difficult catch. Is on the full run there. Certainly catchable, but on the move. Good effort.
And beaten to finish. 10 runs from the over. 3 to go to Tornadoes. 122 for 1. So a partnership of 45 from 38 balls. Callis has 33 of those and a half century for her. Played the anchor role after Devine got off to a flyer. Uses the pace of the ball well. And solid off the back foot too. Second most runs in the competition for Callis on 89. Only Atapatu ahead of her with 149 after a century on opening night.
And Callis 32 in that first match against Sapphires. Player of the match.
So Bryce is back. It starts with a wide.
Certainly been targeted, Bryce. It's all part of the plan. Two batters dominating at the moment.
Taylor just keeps picking out the sweepers, doesn't she? Mostly on the offside. We really find her rhythm. The 12 partnership of 47 from her blade.
And we've got batting to come, of course, as well for the Tornadoes, with Sunday Luz to come, the great all-rounder.
I think from here they'll probably want this pair to bat it out, because as soon as Luz comes to the middle, yeah, she can give it a whack, but it's often harder trying to hit from ball 1 than it would be for Taylor, having faced 13 deliveries to now go up the gears. So the best outcome for the Tornadoes would be that Taylor can find her groove and can do so straight away.
Catch it! Go Mix!
Hits that well enough. Bounces once. Oh, gets a boundary. Mignon Dupria just misjudged that. Went hard on the basis that it looked like it was hanging for a catch, but landed just in front of her, deflected off her leg. Taylor gets her second 4. Good slower ball, pace off, running her fingers down the seam.
Gets underneath it. Manages to dodge the fielder there. Sunny Luz should have been taken though. Should have been stopped.
A bit of spin there. Another slower ball down the ground this time. Excellent running from Callis. She was committed to the 2 from the moment the ball left Taylor's bat. She sprinted down to the striker's end, turned blind, and hammered it back to make sure they'd get through for the second.
Well, they're on target here, the Tornadoes. When Stafanie Taylor was interviewed here at the beginning of the match, they were looking at 140. They should go beyond 140 as a total.
That grunt of frustration from Taylor there, that was in her swinging arc and couldn't place it over the top of cover. Instead ends up with long off, only 1.
Partnership now worth 55 between Taylor and Callis.
77 for the first wicket and 55 unbroken for the second for the Tornadoes. Full toss. Down towards long on. And taken. Prabodhani's safe pair of hands. That's the end of Callis on 58. Up towards waist height. For a moment there, she might have hoped it might have been called a no ball from the square leg umpire, but not to be. And Bryce again with pace off, running her fingers down the seam. Gets her name in the book.
She'll feel it's a soft dismissal though, Callis. It's a full toss, but just deceived by the pace of the ball there, and a great catch. Safe pair of hands there from Prabodhani. Straight down her throat. Tornadoes now 132 for 2.
Tunalus has been the acting South African captain in recent times, missed out against the Sapphires. Plenty of experience at the top level. Just 12 balls left in the innings. He has to hit straight away. Matthews to bowl the penultimate over, her fourth.
Nice, Hales. Good start. Well done.
And Luce is there because Callis fell for 58. Watching the wicket side on here, I mentioned the waist-high full toss. That couldn't have been far away. I mean, it's meant to be assessed where the batter is in their normal batting position, and difficult to assess because she was out of her crease and on the advance, but couldn't have been far away. Speaking of on the advance, Stafanie Taylor up and over. She's been looking for that shot, nearly takes out a photographer in the process. Her first big one. 139 for 2. Committed to the stroke early against her West Indies teammate. Flat and hard and 6 runs. Yes, that maybe not a photographer, but he was sitting on the boundary edge and nearly took his head off.
I love the mind games.
I don't mind that. The captain and the vice captain of the West Indies team. You can see Taylor moving before the ball was bowled. Matthews said, you know what? No, I'm not going to let it go. I'll return to my mark, you return to yours, and we'll do the whole thing again.
It's like a dance routine out there.
Sharp spin. Good placement too. Might be 2, should be 2. Yep, committed to the run. Just one more look at the dismissal here. I'm always wary of being too effusive on these matters, but yeah, you can build the case either way depending on which side you're supporting. But yeah, that was right on the line. Catch, Rabadani.
Well, the pitch not as slow and low as we first thought it might be. It's the 5th game on this pitch. Ball still coming on, bit of bounce there.
Has to be out. Plumb in front. So now Luce trying to hit across the line. Perfectly reasonable at this stage of the innings. And as we were saying last over, by breaking the partnership, they get a look at a new batter. An easy decision to make on the back pad.
Yeah, just a premeditated shot there and not the shot to play. And well bowled once again from Matthews as the ball just comes onto her. The score now is 142-3.
Miriam Masonda, the new batter, coming in at number 5. The Zimbabwean captain, brought into the 11 tonight for the Tornadoes. Made a 101-day debut against Ireland a few years ago. And off the mark immediately here. So she'll retain the strike. 19 overs gone. 11 runs coming from that set. 1-4-3 for 3. Losing. Sune loose along the way. Taylor finishing her 4 overs with 2 for 33. Nicely bowled.
Here's the wicket again. And just a play and a miss. That shot, getting down on one knee. Wonderful wicket there. 2 for 33 now, Matthews. Per 4.
Towards you. Slightly towards you. That's the center. Come on, girls.
So Masonda to face start of the final over, to be sent down by Prabodani. Economical so far. She's hit that crease line with the sliding Yorker a number of times, both with the new ball and then his second spell. Excellent death bowling.
Yeah, and bowling well to her field as well. Prabodani.
Dug out the long off there. Masonda gets her second single. Good story. She was a basketball player, Masonda. Found cricket a fraction later. Now playing domestically in South Africa. Between times completed a degree in development finance. So one of the many all-rounders we have at this competition. Get on the crease line. Prabodani's bowled so well in his last spell at the death. Taylor have to, I think, to settle with it for a single down the ground.
Yeah, only two off this final over here. Prabodani going for Yorker length.
Shot. Really well played, Masonda. Deep in the crease, waiting on it, and threading the needle through cover. A boundary from her fourth ball.
Be her first four of the tournament. Masonda, she's debuting today for her team, Tornadoes.
Back to the block hole. Not always been an easy ride for Zimbabwean women in terms of their national team in recent years, but you get the sense with Masonda, who's leading that team at the moment, they have a leader they can build around the next couple of years. Can only be a good thing. They push for two, final ball, they should. Bit of confusion there. Had on the bum there from Dupree, I think it was. And that'll be the end of the 20 overs. Tornadoes finishing on 152 for 3. That's the same score that the Barmy Army made earlier today watching this final ball. Bryce running into Dupree. Bit of confusion. Yes, a pat on the bum. So 9 runs coming from the final over. All told, a good second half. Indeed, a good last 14 overs from the Warriors after the Tornadoes got off to a flyer with a few booming sixes from Sophie Devine. Taylor unbeaten on 31 from 21 deliveries with a couple of fours and a six. Masonda not out 7 from 5 balls there at the end.
Well, the Tornadoes were set in. It seems to be a popular method in the tournament so far. And they accumulated 152 for 3. Now, we think that's an average score. 177's lost, 152's been chased down, 119's been defended. But Sophie Devine certainly got the Tornadoes away to a quick start, 48 and 35. Stair Callis was a little more consistent, batted almost all the way through the innings for her runner ball. Stafanie Taylor batted in a hurry. Zono Loose perished at the end, trying to get on with it. And Miriam Masunda, a little cameo at the finish. Let's have a look how the runs unfolded.
Yeah, Sophie Devine was having a good time out there earlier, wasn't she? She was whacking it away. 4 sixes, there's one of... And that's the... Yeah, she got straight over the field ahead there. So, yeah, Sophie Devine doing what she does best, really. She was unlucky to miss out on her half century there, but there's another one, a Devine special. And Stair Callis continuing her form from the first game where she was player of the match, and that's her half century she's scored today. Yeah, Sophie Devine just one hand on that, and it's still gone flying over the boundary. What she does so well, just down to point there. And this was the end of her, just on the line there. It was a jubilant Hayley Matthews.
Interesting innings from Stair Callis today. A mixture of superb shots like that. She played and missed a lot, particularly at Shelley O'Connell. And also a superb touch outside off stump. That late cut, so late as to almost be posthumous, as they say. But she finds a way to make runs, even when she's actually not in the best of form.
And look at that missile there. Yeah, there's Stair Callis just mistiming that one, taken easily by Pradaboni there off the bowling of Scotland's Catherine Bryce. Marianne Masonda came out swinging, really. It came in after Sune Luce, who was out for just 1 today. Yeah, needs to at the end here. Musonda, Zimbabwean captain, the only Zimbabwe representation here at the inaugural Fairbreak. So the end of their innings, they were 152 for 3 from their 20 overs.
So the batting was a mixed bag of success, some quick scoring and some slow scoring. Catherine Bryce was pounded for a couple of sixes early by Sophie Devine. Matthews came on and slowed the scoring down with the wickets. Amelia Connell, those figures do not reflect how well she bowled. I think she beat the bat probably half a dozen or 8 times, and Isha Oza with her off breaks, very effective once again. So 152 for 3, the target. What do you think, Georgie?
Well,
and we'll go for break now. Welcome back to the Dubai International Cricket Stadium. We're in the second half of the double-header. And the Tornadoes are just taking the field, and they needed to defend a 152 against the Warriors side and had a loss in the first round. George Redmayne, skipper. Oh, sorry, the skipper, the keeper, I should say. Who batted very well on Wednesday night. Her 80 wasn't enough to get them across the line. And Hayley Matthews, West Indies superstar. So 61 matches for over 1,000 runs, T20 international cricket. So I'm expecting maybe some fireworks from Matthews early on, and Redmayne to support.
Yeah, we saw fireworks from them when they opened up that innings on the first night. It was a bit of a blockbuster start to the inaugural Fairbreak Invitational. She's accompanied by Georgia Redmayne, who's also, she had 80 in the first game, so she's in a bit of form. And it looks like Sita Rana will be opening the bowling for the Tornadoes.
The spin first up. Slight change of tactics. I like it. Sita Rana had a good first outing. Redmayne just tucks one away for a single. Redmayne did like the pace on the ball in game one, and when it was fractionally short, great player square of the wicket on either side. So Tornadoes have thought this one through, as captains and coaches do. They're always changing their game plan. And Sophie Devine's gone spin first up. Just taking some time getting the field right. Slip in place. That might be a wide. That one drifts too far. The two fielders out. They've got a long on and a deep forward square leg. In case Hayley Matthews wants to go hard on the leg side, and that may well happen. Goes very hard on the leg side. Brilliantly stopped. They just pick up just a single. The shot seemed like it was worth more.
Yeah, it was good fielding by Sune Loose out on the boundary there. Yeah, just as you were saying it, Hayley Matthews wanting to go square. It's exactly what she did, but Loose was more than equal to it.
Ball toss, put away. Perhaps Sita Rana just coming to grips with the new, hanging on the new ball, bit slidey, and she's also got right and left hand, and that's the old cricket adage, isn't it? You get it right and the left, you're opening the batting. Makes it hard for bowlers to adjust, and that's a gift.
Yeah, Georgia Redmayne's going to eat those up all day long.
That's better bowling. Nice drop on that too. It's about halfway now, and you think it's going to be a full toss, and nice loop and drops. Not that one. That didn't come down. Always tough giving Georgia Redmayne width. One of the best cutters of the ball in the game, I dare say.
Yeah, and she's really got her eye in so far in this tournament. You just watch this one. She plays that so well, Georgia Redmayne. You can't bowl there to her. I mean, there's a lot of spaces you don't want to bowl to for Georgia Redmayne, but when she's in this kind of form, yeah, just bisects the field there, and Sune Loose can do nothing about the chase.
A powerful back foot shot, but a dot ball to finish the first over. The Warriors have had a good start. They're 11 off the first over. Well, the Tornadoes start with spin at one end, but they've gone back to traditional pace. At the other, Diana Baig, Pakistani spearhead. Saw Catherine Bryce get some swing when she opened the bowling. Let's see if Baig does the same. Does.
Yeah, you see that swing there straight away from Diana Baig. We're under the lights here at the Dubai International Stadium. Yeah, that was a great first delivery from her. She's spearhead, as you say, of the Pakistani attack. Be looking for that Tornadoes celebration again today that we've seen.
Good full length from Baig to swing it. That's definitely the way to go. Her two outfielders in the power play. There's a fine leg that's actually squarish. And the deep third's fine-ish. That's because the swing is going away from the right-hander. So that's a little variation in angles there. Slip standing at about 2.5. But they won't stop those. There's no fielder out there. Plenty of room in the air. It's a wistful look from Diana Baig, as it wasn't that bad a delivery.
That's the class of Hayley Matthews, though, isn't it? She can make a good delivery look like a poor delivery the way she can play it. It's just evaded the fielder there, Diana Baig. Not amused.
This field well backed up. They hustle through. Oh, it's a terrific piece of backing up because the ball was solidly struck.
Yeah, it's nice to see that team awareness there on that. You know, these teams have only known each other for a very short amount of time. There's that shot again from Matthews.
Woodger-Inman, the lefty, now takes strike, so they manipulate the field again. Do they want to slip? Yeah, they want to slip. The third, fine legs squarish, so that's the mirror image what they've got for Hayley Matthews. Just sorting out fielder inside the circle. What angle do you want that fielder and how close? So they've changed their mind there. They've dropped it back almost to the edge of the circle. Bowled. Well, swing when she bowls around the wicket. Quite hard to cut those ones. Bowled again, really limiting that angle that Georgia Redmayne can play square of the wicket. A good finish to the over from Diana Baig, 16 for no loss. So just one over from the spinner Sitarana Marga, and that I think that's a good. They tried it out. That's worth having a shot. Didn't quite work out. There's Tirang from Thailand will get her chance with a very newish ball. Just the third over. No slip for her in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside the circle on the offside, and 2 on the leg, and deep square leg. And on the deep square leg. There is a deep backward square leg, very square. Trying to find the other one, Georgia. He thinks him away.
Yeah, like you said, they tried out the spin. It didn't quite pay off. So Siturang has come on with her pace.
This one swings in and swings into the middle of the bat and clears the boundary. It just swung in to the Matthews arc.
Yeah, you see that she just didn't find her line there. Hayley Matthews didn't have to do a lot about that. It was a gift. Yeah, we're just checking on the boundary here on this one. Hayley Matthews convinced it's cleared it. It looks like that's going to be confirmed as a 6, Jeff.
Yeah, well, we had a good look at it because we're behind at that end, so I've called it straight away because I've got the perfect view of it from up in the box. Just got over the rope, but that's all it needs to do. In fact, if it hits the rope on the full, it's still 6.
It doesn't say just 6 in any scorecard.
That's better. Turang has done very well for Thailand. Just had a little of the action. She's got the ball set up in the fingers for the in-swinger. Nice and high, looking at the target, all those things are good.
Interesting, she's got a very front-on bowling action. You get someone who completely... Oh, she's got something in her eye. You okay there? Just being helped out by her teammate. Stafanie Devine. We're all okay. Don't want to bowl with one eye.
Contact lenses. I would do a consultation, but I'd have to charge. Yeah, we're bowled again, so she's got the full bunker out of the way, and now she's on a line of length. And we had a shot of the bowling action because of follow through. She gets her right arm through her body really well, but then she just chops her follow through off. And sometimes that's just nerves. I'm bowling to a great player, and I want to put it there. I don't want to really bowl it aggressively. And you've got to follow through. You've got to be aggressive the way you let the ball go, and then take your chances. Full bunker again. It's a bit high. That'll be over the waist.
So that is a no ball, and that will be a free hit for Hayley Matthews. We're smiling about that one.
Well, hang on, the umpire's just going to check it because it's square legs. Well, either umpire can call it, to be honest, but normally square leg does that. So maybe the umpire could have gone to square leg before he called it. But we'll chat to the third umpire now on the walkie-talkie. It is a no ball, so this is a free hit. So he needs to signal that, which he now does. So Matthews can pick a spot. Where's this going, Georgie?
Taking cover. Yeah, and it's come straight back down the pitch. Great straight drive there from Matthews, and that's gone for 4. So it's come in our direction. I didn't have to take cover. It's not gone where I thought it might, but yeah, look at this from Hayley Matthews. Just tonked that one straight back. Nothing could do about that. She reached for it, the bowler. She put in a good effort. Even if she'd caught it, wouldn't have been out, obviously, on the free hit. That's another 4 to the Warriors' chase. They're 127.
So the end of the over combination is some good and some not so good. Warriors have got 9 and over. couple of tall buildings there. Hayley Matthews has got some early birthday presents with a few full tosses, but in between those has been some good bowling. Bowled Baig. Too good. The first thing that gets Georgia Reedmayne into trouble is the length. It's a terrific length, so she either gets back or forward, and then the movement of the off cutter beats the bat. This time she drives and drives hard. They keep getting this combination. It's terrific deliveries, and that's just a wide half volley. Both these batters aren't missing out.
Yeah, they'll be hoping for a bit more consistency from their bowlers here, the Tornadoes. Stafanie Taylor might have to have a little think. Yeah, and that's lovely. That's just raced away. Bisected the two fielders there. Raced away for 4. Push the Warriors up to 31. They're chugging along nicely.
Beautifully placed. Always clubbed straight down the ground. Mid on and mid off a wide. Hit it back past the bowler. It's interesting Baig's gone back over the wicket to Reedmayne because she had success around the wicket, swinging it into her, limiting her angles. Bowled a couple of cross seamers as well. It's as if she's given up trying to swing the ball. That was a terrific weapon for opening over. Now she goes round. Gets a dot. Gee, that worked.
Thought about going into cricket, Jeff? No, a little bit, it seems. Yeah, so that's much better from her there.
And just the angles in rather than away. I mean, I'll give them credit. They're changing up. They're trying different things. So you can't discredit that. But if you do try different tactics, you've got to execute. Well, that's just a signal. And then she bowled seam up and swung in a little for a 1. Something happening here, Diana. There's a pattern. Got to stick with it. Interesting comparison. Just 1 run the difference at the moment. Tornadoes were 37 for no wicket.
They did get off to quite a racing start, didn't they, with Callis and Devine at the Tornadoes openers.
Might have to bowl that one again. I don't think we're going to dispute that wide. Katie Martin's had a bit of work to do. Oh, gee, it was good work because that was seriously wide. And that one just skirts leg stump. You've got to hit those, Hayley. Blame the umpire. Hit him. 37 for no wicket. After 4 overs, the match is fairly even. The chase. Reedmayne and he's looking for the most part solid. They're certainly putting away the bad balls. They're having trouble with the good balls. It's not actually genius cricket. Oh, more good balls. You won't be in a spot of bother. So Sune Luce is on. Going to bowl her leg spinners inside the power play. Might be just a fraction of a gamble.
Obviously Luce captained that South African side during the recent World Cup in the absence of Dane van Niekerk. A seasoned pro, Sune Loos, just directing traffic a bit, sorting her field.
Good start, a little slider across Redmayne, and it's a long way down, I suppose. Just use your feet.
Coming from the height of 6 foot, I can agree. Yeah, it's just playing a little football there, but it's worked. They always teach you when you start cricket, don't use your feet, so maybe don't learn off that one, but it's worked. It's denied the runs.
Bit of chat from Katie Martin there, just making sure people in the circle at the right angle. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that circle on the offside. Bit of gap between the cover and the extra cover, a little space there. Bowling, slidey, skiddy one from Sune Loos. It's a bit of the way in T20 cricket for the wrist spinners. You don't see too many loopy leggies. You see a lot of top spinners, sliders, front of the hand. Rehearsing her leg spinner there as she warms up in the over.
Oh, nice, Sune. Great backing up there,
Good deflection. Rona Margo just cleans that up. Will knock on. And scrum required. Width on offer. Redmayne doesn't miss, but the field's well set.
Gone to Diana Baig out in the field, and she's so athletic. She really works on her fitness, and you can tell, so she's all over that in the field. Always there to clean up.
Shorter and more slidier in the air and put down. Wow, we've seen some of the best batters in this competition dropped, taking their opportunities. Stair Callis, who's got terrific hands, puts that one down. After 5, the Warriors 44, still no one out.
Thanks, Henry and Georgie. We've now got myself, Mark Farmer, and Mel Farrell in the comms here as the Warriors are on fire. 44 without loss after 5.
Well, helped along the way by a dropped catch as well. Big heave from Hayley Matthews. Stair Callis, who scored a half century earlier, just went straight through the hands and straight through the knees. And that look sums it up, really. We've seen some really good players dropped in this tournament, making them pay.
We'll have another look at it here. Up and
here we go, Steph.
Oh, she's just got to misjudge through the hands and through the legs. She won't want to look at that again. Slides down the leg, and why didn't they scamper through? A reminder that was a wide, and they've scurried through for another there. Got Stafanie Taylor coming into the action. We're looking to her to try and break this partnership and pull back a little bit of momentum for the Tornadoes.
Just a reminder, that bonus point looming as well, so they need to get 77, the 10 over mark halfway through. So 21.
A little bit of test for your maths there, Mel.
I can tell you my maths is not great. My Brain, don't ask me about stats. That's why we're lucky to have the great Mazza Arshad with us on stats, because I can tell you what, I wouldn't be good.
Oh! Out of the gloves and... Have another look at this. Deep in the crease, it's just long.
Another wide signalled. A few extras had in here, 5 wides and a no ball so far in the innings.
Catch. Oh, straight in the pocket. The Tiger takes a great catch and wow, partnership broken just where we feel like there's a momentum and it's all one-way traffic. There's a wicket.
Well, that was a little gift from the West Indies vice-captain to the captain. Here you go, Skip. Wicket for the column. Just went for the big shot and in the end spooned it straight to Chanita Satirawan. Fielding it mid-off. She won't be happy with that, Hayley Matthews. She goes for 21, Warriors 47 for 1.
And that wicket brings in Sindhu Sriharsha, the captain. Digs one out and let's go through. There's a chance at the keeper's end and they get through safely in the end.
We've spoken a lot about the challenges for the captains. Here's another look at the wicket. Just spooned it straight. That was a real gift, that one. Matthews won't be happy with that one at all. Just noticing the trying to communicate fielding changes and positions. There was an awful lot of hand waving and yelling going on out there. It looked quite confusing.
That left-hand, right-hand combination, it's always tough. That's the end of the power play. 6 overs gone, 48 for 1. Redmayne and captain Sriharsha together, the left-hand, right-hand combination. Already seeing that causing communication problems and challenges out in the middle. It's not easy to negotiate that at the best of times, let alone with a team that's only just come together. They've only played 1 game together, so there's going to be a lot of communication challenges out there.
So you can see the comparison there. At this stage, Tornadoes were 2 for 1, I think that was. Oh, just a little bit wide.
They pitched full toss, but not able to dispatch it. Oh, and that's close. We're going to have a look at that, I think. Sriharsha very relaxed, putting her bat in the crease, and Katie Martin's looking pretty happy about things.
Well, it looked like a real lapse in concentration, maybe just a little bit of laziness. Not being aware of what was happening.
A little shake of the head of Sriharsha. She seems fairly confident, but let's have a look. We've seen that a couple of times now. Wickets going bang bang and 2 in a row, and let's have a look at this replay.
Well, ball's fired back. She took her time.
Look it. Looking.
Oh, she's safe. She's safe. Well, I tell you what, she'll be breathing a sigh of relief, because if she had been out that way, it would have been a little bit embarrassing.
Local toss again. A bit of confusion. Oh dear, what is going on out there? I'll tell you what, I know, Mel, that these games are late at night and it's not easy. It's, what time is it? Local time at the moment, it's almost 10 p.m. That's a big full toss, it's hit away, and that's going to race away for 4. We might be about to see a no ball 2 and a free hit on its way.
Well, from the experience, Sune loose as well. It was a loose one from loose. Sprayed out, nearly shoulder height. It got the treatment it deserved, and yeah, she knows it. So, free hit coming up. What can Trasha do with it?
Get down and back to Callis. Direct hit, but no damage done.
Well, feels like it's just a bit chaotic at the moment. It's all a bit hectic, Mark. There's things going on everywhere.
Bit more girls, bit more energy here. Really good here, Sonny.
It's just one run down the ground. Redmayne's going to be a very key part of this chase here. Very key. A lot of experience and for a young player, and it's going to have a big role to play. I think that might have been wrong, and as they scurry through, and that'll be fine. No damage done, and that concludes a rather bizarre 7th over with a score 56 for 1. Take a look at these highlights. Redmayne down, picks up the full toss, cracking stroke over mid-wicket, and Hayley Matthews, well, we know what she's capable of. Big hits, but I tell you what, that drop, it didn't cost them too badly in the end. And here it is, just a bit of a brain fade, which there seem to be a few of those floating around recently. Redmayne, Taylor in here. First over, taking the 1 wicket, 4 runs. We'll be hoping as skipper she can take another one here.
Well, she won't be like that, I don't think. A little bit too wide. It's expensive with some of those extras tonight.
Cut, and we see tactically here the Warriors really putting a squeeze on. Just the one fielder out on the boundary at sort of deep square leg in front of square, and the ring on the offside is a bit of a fortress. Triasha manages to split the gap a little bit and can get off strike. I think we'll see a lot of movement in the field, which we do. Left-hand, right-hand combination. The Warriors understanding that Redmayne is the key batter here, so they'll be spreading the field. Hope that she doesn't score a boundary, get her off strike and put the squeeze on again.
Well, she is the key at the moment for the Warriors. So experienced, so consistent. I think she scored 5 half centuries in the WBBL.
There's an appeal, but that's sliding down leg. Come through for a leg by.
And at the moment, it just feels, everything feels so disjointed. There's no cohesion out there from the two batters who are in the middle communicating, but also around the field. I just have a real concern with Georgia Redmayne that I will explain after Stafanie Taylor bowls this ball. Delicate.
Seeing that slip coming in, good move, but they're going to pick up 4. It really is, there's just not a lot of rhythm at the moment, is there?
There isn't a lot of rhythm. Well, put a slip in, it was the right idea and it was the right ball. Just dabbed away there, past the keeper and a diving Sune loose.
Just goes past the outside edge, and again this ring field, there's her slip. It's behind point, just in front of point. Cover, head off. There we go, we see cover drop back, trying to open up that single and again change the strike and really squeeze Sindhu Srihasha, who's under a bit of pressure here. Tell you what, she's up to the task. A great shot out to mid-wicket. They're not going to pick up 2. It's always difficult on this ground. 55-metre boundaries includes the 8th over, 64 for 1. Back. Let's have a look at this match summary. The Tornadoes batting first, 152 for 3. There was a little bit of a sense that they left a few runs out on the park. They doubled their runs at 10 overs. The Warriors, last few overs have been rather bizarre. They're tracking on all right with a run rate of 8 and over. Slides down leg. We see Nepalese player Sita Rana Marga come into the bowling attack.
Yeah, this run-up, we were looking the other night, not knowing whether she's going around or over the wicket.
Oh, that's lovely, Sita.
Yeah, they're fast overs. It all happens very quickly, and I tell you what, that's going to be in the Tornadoes' favour at the moment. They try and scurry through and see if they can just sneak a few of these dot balls in and really start putting that pressure on the Warriors.
Yes, he's starting there to the right of the umpire. Ends up going across him.
She comes down the wicket, beats. Oh, that's gone for 4.
I think Callis was the fielder again, went for the big dive, but not enough.
Just one of these to hand, mate. They could go anywhere, buddy.
So 8 needed from the next 10 balls, and that will give them the bonus point, as you see there. It was just, to be fair, just out of reach of Stair Callis.
Oh, Sita, that's nice.
Scurry through for 1, and we've sort of been talking about them putting pressure on Sindhu Srihasha, but she's going at over 100 strike rate.
She has. I mean, there's been a lot of tip and run in here, and sometimes it's looked a bit scrappy and ropey, but it's been doing the job in keeping it going. The occasional release in the last 5 overs, they're 35 for 1.
And Redmayne just quite happy to take the single and the easy run on offer.
Here we go, mate.
There's a bit of work to do. There's still a lot of time left in this game. They're ticking along nicely just above the required rate, but we know that 1 wicket can change it all, especially with Redmayne out there.
Again, the tip and run. A direct hit, well fielded. I think she was home. Again, that's just what we were talking about, the quick running between the wickets. At times it's looked a little bit chaotic, but This time you see Sriharsha making it home safely. Great piece of fielding.
Here we are, Sita.
Let's hit down the ground. The infielders a chase and no dive. That's going to be 4 more. And the runs just keep flowing. And the Warriors 76 for 1 after 9. Welcome back. Let's talk about the bonus point. 77 runs required by the end of this over, so 1 run to go. They should click that over and bank a point, put it in the pocket, and they know that no matter what happens at the end of this game, they've got that one point.
It was interesting talking to Heather Knight yesterday about that, saying it's something that they'd just like to keep half an eye on, not get too obsessed by it, but know that it is there if needed. We see Winifred Durasingham coming into the attack.
Yeah, the young Malaysian had a great first game.
That brings up the bonus point for the Warriors. So that's job number 1 ticked, but it probably won't be satisfying unless they go on with the job. Just talking about Georgia Redmayne and my concern. Her helmet sits very high on her head, and I'm trying to work out if it's a ponytail issue.
Might be hiding something under there.
Touch it!
We almost see another wicket at the non-strikers end, and we saw a lot of that at the Women's World Cup. Quite a lot of wickets coming off the fingertips of the bowler in their follow-through. Winifred Durasingham, the Malaysian, had a great first game. 4 overs, taking 2 wickets just for the 20 runs. Clearly, Tornadoes, a lot of confidence in her.
Nice, mate.
That one just worked away nicely.
Interesting one. Every team that's got the bonus point after 10 overs has actually gone on to win the match.
Oh, it's handy, isn't it? Pick up 4 points instead of 3. That might make a big difference as this tournament wears on.
Yeah, well, you really see the Falcons already stretching away at the top of the table with 2 wins, 2 bonus points.
Oh, good Winnie! Go, let it go!
And again, you see, you're wondering why there's no 2s. Well, the 55-metre boundaries make it pretty challenging to run through and turn around. A few batters have been caught short in attempting to do that. Look at those. What do you think of those, Mel? Get them on the dance floor.
Wow.
And a big thumbs up. Let's have another look at those. That's 80 for 1 after 10, and we'll close out with those. And we go to drinks.
Welcome back after the break. The players have had a well-earned drink after the 10 overs. Still fairly warm here in the evening in Dubai. It's probably high 20s, down off a high 30s.
Yeah, it was hot out there for that first game today, so now we're here. We've lost that weather and we're out under the lights. The only wicket to fall yet from this innings, Hayley Matthews, off the bowling of her West Indian compatriot Stafanie Taylor. Didn't get a hold of that one. Appointment there of Matthews.
Yes, I'm sure they'll be discussing that after the fixture. Brilliantly drifted, turning delivery that got you out. Georgia Redmayne, 28 off 24. Tirang from Thailand bowls. Another direct hit. You don't want to be tardy between the wickets. Not just this game, this tournament. Lots of run-outs, lots of terrific fielding.
Great bit of fielding here from Callis. She's having a good day. Aside, there was a drop there earlier on, but she's recovered nicely from that. Applause from the bowler, but the batter easily made her ground there. The Warriors still only one down. Tornadoes in need of breaking the partnerships.
Half edge, half glide, half face for a single. Down at deep third. Same stage. Tornadoes were no wicket for 77, so not a lot in it. Optimistic. Don't get a lot of LBWs off the middle of the bat. Occasionally, yeah, get a bad one, but
perhaps in pub village cricket at the end of a very, very long day.
Redmayne charges. That loses the advantage as the ball beats leg stump. Look, I'm loving this. The new interpretation of the wide rule that's coming in, or you being used in MCC games. So the batter's charged, therefore she loses the advantage. She should have hit that. It passed underneath the bat. It should have been hit. Don't get a run for being poor. Don't want to miss that one though.
Georgia Redmayne will feel she's missed out a bit on that one. She's batting well here. She's 30 from 28, and then Sri Harsha, captain, the USA player, 22 from 20. Yeah, Tornadoes was 78 for 1 at this stage, so barely anything in it.
Rightful Yorker. Over finishes 83 for 1.
So if you just have a look at this broadcasters list, we are being broadcast all over the world here. So in India, you've got Eurosport, Pakistan, you can tune in. You were going to Australia. Honestly, this global tournament not only brings players from all over the world, but is being streamed all over the world too. And so we're going to head back to the action here in Dubai.
One bounce. Mid off. Can't be tardy between the wickets.
No, she wasn't far off hitting there. Yeah, we saw that direct hit, but the batter was in from Callis earlier. We've seen quite a few run-outs. Yeah, Georgia Redmayne doesn't need to be throwing away her wicket.
Such a tough bowler to get away, Winifred. The racing ham. It's a little, not sidearm, it's a low arm, but she's very accurate. She gives you no pace to work with. a bit of a scramble seam, so sometimes it just hits that seam and moves a bit. Sneaky difficult to get away. Redmayne goes in the air. Oh no, that's not a good miss. It should have been dot or one. It's for Sitarana Marga there. Yes, Minifred, I'd give her a stare as well.
Oh, I'd give her a stare. Yeah, and you don't want to be giving those away, especially when it's so tight in there. You know, Georgia Redmayne is the boundary hitter of this duo. Shrihasha isn't known for her big hitting. She's actually only ever hit 1-6 in T20 International, so it is Georgia Redmayne that's going to be hitting those boundaries, and if you can cut those off, then you're in the game. It's really, when it's this tight, you just can't be affording those misfields.
No, I mean, and the style of bowling from Duressingham is, I'm happy to give a single away. I'll get a few dot balls. But if they do hit me hard somewhere, please cut it off. Make it a 1, make it a 2. Mind you, I did see the replay of that, and it wasn't a great bounce. It did keep low and move away from her, but you've got to be expecting that. It wasn't a terrible bounce, but you've got to bend your knees and expect the ball to keep low. Well, you were just saying how Sindhu Srihasha did 1-6 in T20. That wasn't a 6, but that's a fairly good blow. And I think someone like Sindhu, she's learning from the big nation players that she can be aggressive, hit it hard, be confident, back yourself, show some intent. It's a useful delivery, nothing wrong with the ball, but mid-on's up inside the circle, so take it on. Bowl that one again.
Been tidy, but she's gone for 10 from this over. And we'll be bowling that one again. Much better there from Jurasingham to finish the over. Warriors are 93 for 1 at the end of the 12th over, chasing a score of 153 to win.
Well, Dr. Georgia Redmayne has got 115 runs for the tournament so far, 80 off 61. In game one, been the anchor more than anything, today, not as explosive as the other day where we saw her play some great cuts and pull shots, but the bowling's been fuller today. It hasn't enabled her favourite strokes to come out. Gets a bit of width here, slices it down the deep third.
And Sitarana makes no mistake on that one after an earlier misfield. Sophie Devine there, she had a great innings earlier on, didn't she, Jeff?
Especially the one-handed sixes, I love that. Sitarana Marga, you can tell she's focused after that misfield. Devine's been marshalling the troops fairly well. Lots of bowling changes, certainly giving the associate countries good spell, and she's got to back them, and that's how they get better. Have some confidence in them, and for the most part they've delivered for her. Shot. Messingham cleans up a deep third. Haas is going better than a run of ball. She's got the same strike rate more or less as Georgia Redmayne. Redmayne charges. Can't do much with it.
Yeah, Georgia Redmayne in the last women's Big Bash over in Australia scored an amazing 437, which was actually the most for any of the Brisbane Heat batters. So she'll back herself here to get her team over the line, needing 57 from 44 at the moment.
Bold, got to hustle as ever.
I mean, she picked the right end there, didn't she, Steph Callis? She's got that awareness, but I think Redmayne would have been home. She's not slow between the wickets.
Ball that beats the bowler's hand. Callis has already hit the stumps, I think, 2 or 3 times, direct hits in this inning so far. Redmayne charges again, so that's her tactic to try and break the shackles here. And she does. Gets Winifred to racing him down. There it is. Tough job away to a left. They score a boundary. The Warriors 100 comes up. They've only lost 1 wicket, and it's 13 overs gone. The 100 for the Warriors up in the 13th over. At the same time, the Tornadoes were 94 for 1. So not a great deal in it. It will only be a few dot balls or the fall of a wicket that will change this game. Qureshi next to Bidjarel. Diana Baig's back. A bit of extra pace now. This could actually make it easier to score if she gets a line wrong. I keep calling Sophie Devine the captain because she's out there controlling a lot of the field.
She is directing traffic. She's often directing traffic. But yes, the captain of this Tornadoes side is the West Indian Stafanie Taylor. Always nice to have Sophie Devine in your side, just if you need that little extra, bit of advice on the side.
Georgia Redmayne just clearing the area of moths. Bold.
Yeah, so they're now needing 50 off 40, the Warriors, and they've still got the big hitting Redmayne at the crease on 42 from 36, alongside captain Triharsha, 29 off 27.
Short, well played, and wide-eyed. Didn't play the hook, but watched the ball all the way, got out of the way well. As we look at who's to come, well, on to Prayers next. There's a good finisher. Sarah Bryce, Shamila Connell, Isha Oza. That's a good middle order there. And how much of that did we see when Shamila Connell was bowling? Player misses outside off stump.
Yeah, this is good from Diana Baig. There's now been 37 dots in this inning, so it really is, there's barely anything in it. At this stage, Tornadoes were 100 for 1. Warriors currently at 103 for 1.
That hits the splice. Baig generating some good pace.
As Shamila O'Connell we were talking about earlier, she bowled really well today, actually. the West Indian.
If only she had the slip in at the right time. They bowls, good line, good length. Redmayne deflects, good over so far. In fact, that's the end of it. Just 4 singles off it. Well bowled, Diana Bay. 105 for 1. Terrific partnership between the American and the Australian. The comparison is interesting. 105 for 1, the Warriors, the Tornadoes 104 for 1. So this game remains at an even keel. 48 off 36 required. Redmayne might have to be there at the end. As the skipper brings herself on. She's had 2 good overs so far.
Yeah, well, Redmayne closed out her innings in the first match unbeaten, and she's looking to go in the same direction. She's now 124 for the tournament and not been dismissed yet, so quite nice little stats there for Redmayne. Obviously Sri Harsha at the other end going at a runner ball 30.
Edge safe. Fortune favours the brave. But I really like Sindhu Srihasa's intent here. It's good batting to come. The game's on a fairly even keel. Go hard, and when you swing hard and get an edge, so often it flies safe. Loving the intent. This time she comes down the wicket and jams it out and gets the same result. Watching the ball really closely. I mean, there's so many good signs in this batting from Sindhu.
We're sort of watching her evolve as the innings goes on. So she's hit 4 4s, no 6s here, but 34 not out off 32. And yeah, she's developing that intent as she grows into this innings. Couldn't quite get to that one. It's well bowled there by Stafanie Taylor, captain of this Tornadoes side, directing traffic.
Sends out the deep cover, so she's content to give a single away. Or she'll be bowling outside off stump. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the circle. Sweeper recover. Outside off stump. Little shank to mid wicket. And loose cleans up there.
Warriors needing 42 from 31 at the moment. 1-1-1 for 1.
Clever bowling from Stafanie Taylor. Finishes her 3rd over. She's gone for 6 and over, and the Warriors are 112 for 1. 5 overs left.
Well, force could be 2 there if they want it. Happy with the 1. Adam Collins picking up commentary. Izzy Duncan with me. We haven't had a thrilling finish yet Cricket has all the ingredients for that.
No, with 9 wickets in hand here, the Warriors, they can afford to throw their hands at it. They can afford to lose wickets. They've got batting to come. Of course, they'd like to see it through, Redmayne and Sriharsha. Sriharsha's not really playing her natural game. She is more of an anchor role, but she's having a go and she's playing with intent.
And I think the difference here in this competition is that a couple of wickets and you end up in a situation where it's, to be crude, full member nation bowlers against associate member batters. That could easily happen here. Opportunity mid-on and taken. There it is. The breakthrough they required. The partnership ends on 66. Margot with the catch. The captain falls for 35 from as many balls. And there's that crack of light for the Tornadoes. Defending 152. They needed to break this partnership, and they've done so. Sune loose, back into the attack, and straight into the book.
Yeah, just doesn't get to the pitch of the ball there, Sriharsha. And the ball is in the air for a long time. It's a nice catch from Sitorana Maga. And we get the full celebrations, don't we? The Bollywood, the Pushpa celebration. Just rubbing the beard. That's what that's about. Warriors 113 for 2.
Redmayne on strike. They did cross wrong and from Sune loose. Yeah, leg by signalled. Puts Mignon de Pree on strike for the next ball. Here's the wicket. Held up in the turf. Pitch has been getting slower. Sriharsha straight down the throat. Margaret at mid-on. Love the celebration. Great passion amongst this team. South African to South African, off the mark first ball, de Pree. Vastly experienced player. Retired from 50 over cricket and test cricket after the 50 over World Cup. Still going to go around in T20 fair though, and understandably so. She had a fabulous WBBL last year. Home World Cup next March. Oh, nearly through. Off the inside edge. 3 runs and the wicket from the over so far.
Well, they're going to want de Pree's on strike, aren't they? The new bat.
So Redmayne will retain the strike. 4 overs to go. Still 37 runs to get. This could be a close one. 116 for 2. But just ahead of where the Tornadoes were at this stage of the innings. They finished with a bit of a flurry. Redmayne, well, she's at the crease. The Warriors remain in control. Bryce, Connell and Oza to follow. Now, how will they set up these death overs? 4 to come. They've got 1 for Stafanie Taylor, captain up her sleeve.
And Diana Baig, of course, as well, has one as well, and she's experienced, going for 6 and over. Dita Maga's been given a bit of tap, may not be used.
The Malaysian goes first.
Go, baby, go, baby! Great stuff, baby!
That slinging action we've seen from Dhirisingham over the last couple of nights. I noted that overnight, a couple of the players that did well yesterday, including Dhirisingham, have now got a Wikipedia page for the first time. I think that's an important, subtle but important part of this, isn't it? That getting that recognition and getting written about.
Suddenly on the global stage,
yeah,
getting the exposure.
It's not everything, but it's not for nothing either. Cross the line. Straight at the deep mid-wicket, and Diana Baig takes the catch on the line. Mignon de Pree has gone for 1, and this game takes another twist. Dhirisingham trusted with the responsibility of bowling over number 17, and the Malaysian captain does the job for her captain.
It's all open now, this game. We're into the associate players, anything can happen. But Freya, the new bat, put it straight down the throat of Baig. Just about manages to take that before toppling over the ropes. 117 for 3 now, the Warriors, into these death overs.
Rushing through for a single. So Redmayne retained the strike, or got the strike back rather, because they did cross. But Diana Baig there on the boundary, went straight down her throat, but with the low lights here at Dubai Sports City, it would have been right in her eye, but tough. Held the pose just inside that rope. There it is again, that celebration we saw yesterday when she took a wicket.
Catch, Winnie! Hold it, step!
Tornado. It also has some similarities to the Cristiano Ronaldo goal celebration down in the corner. Catherine Bryce struggled with the ball in the competition so far, gone for bulk runs, but an accomplished all-rounder for Scotland.
They'll be wanting to farm the strike to Redmayne here, mostly. She is the big hitter. She's seeing it well. They'll try and orchestrate that, the Warriors out there.
Yeah, I wonder whether they're in a position where they can do that. I don't know whether 35 from 20 with keeping all of it onto the shoulders of Redmayne, that might backfire. I think that Bryce has to go here too. Has to take some ownership. Pace off again from Durya Singham.
Good figures for Durya Singham so far, 1 for 17. She's a trusted death bowler, economy of 6 and over.
Redmayne goes to long on, another opportunity, taken down low. Sophie Devine. All that experience on show. And Redmayne's gone a couple short of 50. They're ahead of this game at the start of the death overs, but 2 wickets in the over. Just 3 runs coming from it. Durya Singham could be the match winner. Sophie Devine had work to do, moving to her left, going down low. And that response, arms pumping. End of 17 overs, Redmayne gone for 48. The Warriors still need 34 from 18. They're 119 for 4. A good play coming in at number 6, Isha Oza. Gives it a whack. Got international runs aplenty. All beaten first ball here. Trying to steer away. Sune Lu starting her 4th over. With that wicket again. 1 of 2 in the 17th over. Redmayne took on Divining. Second best. Across the line here. Oza's off the mark. Has a high score of 158 not out against Bahrain just a couple of months ago, or earlier this month I should say. Isha Oza was brought up in India, lives here in Dubai. Usually bats up towards the top of the list for the UAE.
And she's rated by Sachin Tendulkar.
Yes, she was part of that associate team back in 2019 they brought together, and Sachin got a chance to see her go through her paces and thought she was a real likely type. And we've seen that with the ball, not yet with the bat. Wasn't required in the Warriors' first game.
Not easy here for two new bats. We've got spin one end, leg spin one end, and right arm medium the other.
That 158 I mentioned before, that's the second highest score ever in women's T20 internationals. So a sense of her pedigree. Big stage here, 32 from 15 the equation. Just a single there. Sune Loose, experienced leg spinner. Flat, angled in at the stumps, giving her a chance to free the arms there.
Both these batsmen can be aggressive. That's what they need to do here. 31 needed off 14. That required rate just going up and up now. 13.
They've really put the brakes on here, the Tornadoes. It's been 29 balls since the last boundary.
Another tight over as well. Only 4 off this over.
That is a fantastic over from Sune Loose, conceding just 5 runs. 29 needed from the last 2 overs. The Warriors in a bit of a hole now. 1, 2, 4 for 4. So they need the big finish. They need Oza to free the arms and clear the ropes a couple of times. She bowled economically earlier, conceding just 20 with the ball. Good all-round cricketer. Duria Singham to bowl her 4th over. Bit of a raffle as to who would get the death overs, but they've backed in the Malaysian captain. Just outside the tram tracks there. You can see the plan though, can't you, Izzy? They've got a deep point, they've got a long off, so keep it well outside the off stump.
Make it 3 for you, mate. Come
and
on,
make them go up and over the top of cup.
Yep, with a long on, long off back there.
Deep mid-wicket, the 4th fielder outside the circle. Boulder! Winner for Duria Singham. Looks every bit the match winner here. Bending back Oza's off stump. Super stuff from the Malaysian. 28 from 10 from here. Winnie's on fire.
She's absolutely rattling through them here. 3 for 18. This is a masterclass in death bowling. They are collapsing all over the place. The Warriors, the pressure is on. Ball of Redmayne's wicket that did it in the end. Showing the pressure. Score now 125 for 5.
Yasmin Khan across the line, good contact out the deep mid wicket, but only for 1. The brakes are really on here, in large part due to Winnie Duria Singham. And that was the classic case of lay miss, you hit as a bowler towards the end.
Just trying to be inventive here with the runs, these two, Yasmin and Bryce. And they need to be, they're desperate for boundaries. Pressure is on here. Some good field settings. We've got long on and long off, right on the boundary. We've got a deep mid-wicket, and out there in the covers, also patrolling the boundary.
And Namibia on strike. Clever, use what pace there is and should get a boundary, does get a boundary. Don't mind that. Yasmin Khan, her first opportunity to contribute in this competition. Didn't get a bat on opening night. Moved to Namibia as a youngster. Vice captain of her national team.
Guy, 3 off, please.
Pakistani extraction, parents from there, but she grew up in South Africa. It's not out, but the run-out opportunity, nope, that won't happen. Falling over there at the crucial moment. Might have been on at the non-striker's end.
A little bit slippery out there with the dew under the lights. Greasy underfoot.
So Bryce, who's dominated associate cricket for a long stretch of time, they needed to stand up here. Winnie Duradasingham completes her outstanding spell of 4 overs. 3 for 24, 2 at the death. The Warriors need 21 from the final over. They're 1-3-2 for 5. Here are the 3 wickets. Caught on the rope. Mignon de Priya. Georgia Redmayne down at long on a couple of balls later. And then bang, bending back the off stump. Isha Oza. Brilliant from Winifred. Diana Baig to close it out for the Tornadoes. And a dot to start. Just about job done. A lot will need to go right now for the Warriors, who've slumped through these last 5 overs. They've just been nowhere. Extra pace from Diana Baig. Made it tough stuff. The bowl of death overs for Pakistan for many years. Just 1 over since the end of the 13th over. And they need 4 of them here in the last 4 to win the game, unlikely as it is. Brilliant effort from the Tornadoes from where they were.
And very good bowling rotations as well, saving the best till last with the bowlers.
Giving some sense of it, the Warriors were ahead at halfway, so they get the bonus point. It'll the first time, this will be the first time we've seen the points split, where the team ahead at 10 over mark won't win the game. Nice slap down the ground, gets a boundary. Futile stage, however. 16 needed, 2 balls to come. So barring something wild, an overstep, which we're so unlikely to see from an experienced campaigner like Diana Baig, just keep the foot behind the line, get it on the dance floor a couple of times and game over. Take the 3 points.
Well, that experience there from Diana Baig, having played 28 T20 internationals, 23 wickets for her. Reliable death, the bowler.
A few laughs there from Sophie Devine.
The attempted
Standing
bouncer
there at mid-off, yes.
On this slowish pitch.
We
no
did
one
say,
minds that too much.
Two responsibilities. Yeah, 1, stay behind the line. 2, get it down the end where it needs to be. And, well, I guess she's missed out on part 2 of that, but plenty of latitude. Catch on offer at mid-on and taken. Sophie Devine, her second catch in the death overs, just to put a full stop on this performance. 1 ball left. The Warriors have fallen in a heap, 15 still to get. Diana Baig gets herself a wicket. Bryce lobbing a catch up towards mid-on, and there was no way that was going to be dropped by the New Zealand skipper.
It's just desperation there, throwing everything at that Bryce, and it's easy catch by Devine in the end. And a celebration from Baig. She takes her first wicket, 1 for 25, and the score now 138 for 6, the Warriors.
Last ball of the game. Out to deep point, they get a single, but that is game over. We saw runs defended yesterday, 119 and 125. Well, today, that did a bit better than the Tornadoes, but twice batting first, they've taken the points. 152 for 3, easily enough to get the job done. Victorious by 13 runs. They're 2 from 2. They only take 3 of the 4 points because the Warriors were ahead after 10 overs, but that speaks to how well their bowlers were able to tie it up in the second half of their defence.
Yeah, fantastic bowling there. We've got our pick of the bowlers. Certainly, I think we're going to go for Winifred Jurasingham with her 3 for 24. Quite exceptional there, just at the end. That collapse of 5 wickets tumbling, just put on the pressure and lost it for the Warriors.
Yeah, if you looked at the depth chart or the bowling card as they were going into the final 5, you would think that Stafanie Taylor was a lock to bowl one of those 4 overs, but she showed faith in the veteran Malaysian bowler, and it paid off big time. 3 wickets in the space of 2 overs to stifle the Warriors of any momentum at the death. After Redmayne made 48 from 46, on reflection, they needed her to go the whole way through, but Jurasingham picked her up. 1 of 2 wickets in that vital 17th over, decisive in the final analysis. Srihasha, 35 from 35 in the middle overs as well, but neither of the set players went on with it. So a short break here in Dubai. When we return, down on the field, Mel Farrell with the presentation.
And as you've seen, the Tornadoes win by 13 runs. Without wasting time, let's go straight to the post-match presentation with Mel.
Hello and welcome to the post-match presentation of match number 5 from the Fairbreak Invitational 2022, live from the lovely city of Dubai. A terrific match again. We saw the Tornadoes come out, a terrific opening partnership there between Sophie Devine and Stare Callis as well. They ended up making 152 for 3, but in the end the Warriors, after starting well, fell 13 runs short. But I would like to start by thanking our generous sponsors, SDG Impact Fund and GenCore. Now, first up, I'd like to invite captain of the Warriors up, Sindhu Sriharsha. Another loss. Sins, you did get the bonus point. They don't go away completely empty-handed. The chase looked good about halfway through when you were out there with Georgia Redmayne. Where did it go wrong?
I think losing the couple of wickets, both me and Georgia at the same time, I think that costed us. One of us should have batted through. I think that's...
Yeah, tough to have a second loss, but what do you do now when you go away with your teammates to bring them back?
I think we did well considering what happened the first game, and we came back stronger this game. So that's what we're going to go back and then work on our weaknesses and come back stronger for the next one.
And you had a good time out there in the middle, though, showing some real form. That was a really important partnership with Georgia Redmayne.
Yeah, I was just trying to do my bit, anything that I can do, just doing it for the team. That's it.
Yeah, oh, good. Well, you're playing with still got that big smile on your face, which is fantastic to see. All the best. We look forward to seeing that first win on the board very soon.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to Sins. Well, it's time for Player of the Match award. The Player of the Match will receive a smartwatch, and tonight it's presented by Tracy Walker, Director of Cricket Hong Kong. Thank you, Tracy. The award, this is going to be a very popular one, I think, too, goes to Winifred Durasingham from Tornadoes. I said it was going to be popular. 3 for 24. Crucial wickets. Winifred, congratulations. Took a couple of wickets in your first match and crucial wickets here, 3 for 24. What has this been experience like for you to come in and play such a crucial role for the team?
Actually, I was very calm. I just stayed calm and just did what I was supposed to do when I got the ball. So I stick to the plan. Yeah.
They were cruising. They looked like they were going quite nicely in the chase. Were you feeling the pressure and realising you had to really stop that partnership in particular?
At one point I felt nervous, but after that when I got the ball I just stayed calm and I did what I was supposed to do, and it worked well for me.
Great cheers from your teammates. You're here from Malaysia. Just what's this been like coming into a team like this, an experience for a Malaysian player like yourself?
I think it's a very great opportunity for me to be here playing with this bunch of people, a very fun bunch of people here, and very exciting, supportive people. So I'm very excited to play in this team and to be here. And thank you, Fairbreak, for giving me this opportunity to play in this tournament.
Well, it's a great opportunity for us to be able to watch you. Terrific bowling from you tonight. Congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
Thank you, Winnie. Great performance from her. Very popular player amongst her teammates. I'm now going to invite the winning captain up for a word, Stafanie Taylor from the Tornadoes. I'd like to tell you that they're cheering for you, but they're not. They're cheering for Winnie still as she goes back.
No, that's a good thing.
Congratulations on the win. They did look like they were chasing that very, very well. But your bowlers, particularly in that second half, did such a wonderful job, didn't they?
Yeah, I think we spoke about not giving, boundaries in between. I think that would be important for us. And if you do give boundary, they could easily get ones throughout the over. So trying to cut the boundary was, something that we spoke about. And yeah, I thought, Winnie bowled fantastic.
Yeah, she did. And just at the depth as well, they were terrific. So now, back-to-back wins, which is what you were looking for. Must be feeling good about where you are this early stage.
Yeah, we're feeling really good, but yeah, it's not something that, we talk about we got to win. It's about improving players, and, each game we could see that, each player, they are improving. So I think for us, that's a plus.
Yeah, well, it's been great to watch you so far. Lovely to watch Winnie as well. Good luck. Have a good sleep tonight. We'll see you back here very shortly.
Thanks much.
So that was captain of the winning side tonight, the Tornadoes, Stafanie Taylor, celebrating the win with her teammates, still cheering. And that is all from the presentation.
And as we take a moment to look at that summary for match number 5, the Tornadoes' top order batters came through, and starting with Stare Callis getting that crucial 58, and of course that major contribution. Fiery start from Sophie Devine getting 48 runs, 2 runs short of her half a century, but striking beautifully at 137. And the pick of the bowlers is Matthews getting 2 wickets under her belt. And moving over to the Warriors, how's that looking like, Jeff?
Well, their chase looked like it was going to be successful to start off with. When Georgia Redmayne runs again tonight, backing up for her 80 in game 1. Sindhu Shriyasa, the skipper for the USA, run a ball. They put together a terrific partnership, and with half a dozen overs to go, it looks like they were going to win. It was certainly going to be close all the way. But a certain Winifred de Racingham got the ball, knocked over a few. The big wicket to me was Mignon de Priya. Yeah. She smashed one out to cow corner. Would have been 6 anywhere else. Picked out Diana Baig, tall fielder. Took the catch comfortably, and to me that was the turning point. And Winnie just turned the screws. She was just giving no runs away, and in the end it looks like a comfortable victory, but with 3 overs to go, the match was either's teams.
All right, now we are moving over to checking who is top of the log. And after that game, we're still having the Falcons at number 1 position with those 2 points. 8 points at the moment. And at number 2, we've got the Tornadoes, 7 points. Barmy Army with 4 points. The Warriors with 1 point. The Sapphires, as well as the Spirits, with no points as yet. And so, Jeff, let's just quickly chat about Redmond, that partnership contribution. It was important for the Warriors, but yeah, as we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, Redmayne played well. We've talked about her being one of the highest scorers in the WBBL back in Australia. She's not yet played for Australia, but you think on her form one day she will. Tonight, not as explosive on night 1, and I think the bowling was a little better, but she scored square of the wicket in game 1. Tonight she had to score down the wicket. The strike rate was around the 100 mark, but it was 140 the other night. She had 80 or 60 in game 1. So terrific innings by her, but she had to go all the way through, and then she holed out with that shot down a long on when she really should have got the side home. She's the experienced player, and that was a little bit reckless to get out. And played well, but in the end, I think she'll reflect that she should have played that shot a little more carefully.
Yeah. And speaking about experience, someone that's showing a bit of experience in this competition is Winifred. Let's talk about her. I mean, her bowling was incredible, getting 3 of 24.
Yeah, and there's that catch. That's to me was the turning point. De Priya holes out. Devine takes another catch. And with Winifred, you can't miss. She bowls so straight. She bowls a terrific length, great control. You miss, she hits, you know, and player of the match. That's fantastic stuff for a player from Malaysia.
Yeah, yeah. And where did the Warriors lose it? They lost it somewhere.
Well, I'll just say again, when Minx de Priya holed out, she was only fresh to the crease. I think she only had one, only faced a couple of balls. She decided to take Winifred on and lost that battle. Mind you, if you hit the ball a metre higher or a metre left or right, it probably goes for 6. And the Warriors might win the game. And they're the fine margins we get in T20 cricket. But that was the key wicket. The scores were going along about level at that stage, and then the Warriors just fell behind. The bowling was better. They gave nothing away. We heard Stafanie Taylor say we had to stop the boundaries. And that's exactly what they did. It was classic T20 cricket. Don't give away the 4s or the 6s. Keep them down to the singles. They squeezed and they squeezed and they turned the screw and they got away with that win.
Yeah. And the Tornadoes won. Thank you so much for joining me in studio. And thank you at home for also joining us. But let's have a quick look at what you can expect in the next coming days. Match number 6, we see the Falcons versus Team Spirit. And in match number 7, it's the Warriors versus the Sapphires. So we certainly still have more cricket action coming up here at the SDG Fairbreak Invitational Tournament. And from me, Lisa Hopoe in